We're already after Shiva, after the days of Bechi. We are today in the first day, recognizing the new reality and searching for the strength to continue. Standing here every Shabbat, but I get a quote where I was missing, or I wasn't sure that I translated something in the correct way. This was my position. Mendel was sitting here. I saw on his face, translate. Elaborate, don't look how late it is. Torah is not a religion. It's much more than a religion. Torah is a way of life, and Torah is a purpose of life. And that's why the Torah tells us and guides us not only what to do, but also how to think, as we heard from Yaakov. We also have guidance in the Torah how we're supposed to feel. One may ask how to feel it. We cannot give instruction how to feel. I remember as a child, it's not always that I like the lunch that my mother prepared, and she told me I have to eat the soup because this is lunch today. She never told me, you must like the soup. I don't like it, but eat it anyway because Ima prepared. You cannot tell another child, another adult, how you should feel. Nevertheless, the Torah is telling us, Ve'ahavta, do me something, I don't. Ve'ahavta means you should learn, should internalize, and you should meditate in your intellectual until this will impact that your heart will feel. Let's try together to learn, understand, meditate. Maybe we'll find the direction and the strength. What happened to us as a family and to us as an extended family on Tuesday is not an end. It's not an end of Mendel's life. It is a change in Mendel's life. There's a separation happened between his neshama and his physical body, but life continues. We know there is no neshama who leaves this world before her mission was complete. So we as parents, we should be proud that our son, our oldest son, our Paul, accomplished his mission. And even in a younger age, he lived a long life with a limited amount of years. But even after that, he did not leave. There is no, as we heard from Yosef Yitzchok in the Rambam, there is no such a thing that the neshama doesn't exist or the neshama left. Let me share with you the same message in powerful words from the Rebbe.
The Lubavitcher Rebbe said to my father and his siblings and my grandfather in 1957 when they were sitting Shiva for my grandmother, he says, I want you to know that when someone passes away, they don't leave. They don't go to another place. They don't go far away. The imagery I would like you to have in mind is they ascend one floor up. In Yiddish, "Megeit mit a Stock Echer." They're here, they're just one floor up. And they're watching us, and they're observing, and they're intervening, and interceding, and praying, and blessing. And that's the message that they're meant to send. When my paternal grandfather, Rabbi Yochanan Gordon, and my father and his siblings were sending Shiva for my grandmother. And this is the message that I always have in mind, and I'd like to gift this message to each and every one of you who will ever see this. If you lost someone, they didn't leave. They're here, they're watching, they're guiding, they're inspiring, they're intervening, they're praying. They're on the second floor, looking down and watching over you. Don't ever think they're not here. They are here.
So Mendel is here. And that is painful. He's here in a different way. His parents, we have to watch a grandson, 6 years old, says 3 times a day Kaddish. No grandfather should have the situation to give a kiss to his grandson and say, "You said Kaddish so nicely." No Jew should be tested in that. So Mendel is here, but it's painful to hear a daughter-in-law, unbelievable Eshet Chayil, dedicated mother, finds a way how to explain her children. A Farah Tavel, a Farah Tashuv, in a way of a story, how Adam HaRishon was created. That was dust, and now it's just the same. We shouldn't have to listen to such explanation given to young children. How do we explain it? So I want to speak to myself and remind myself that we do not explain. Because if we would explain and understand what God is doing, so Rabbi Yehuda Levi says, "Ilu yeda'ativ ha'itiv." If I'm able to understand God, there is no reason I shouldn't be God. And the God that I can reach an understanding is basically one of ours. I wouldn't dedicate my life, not even a weekend, because what he said. We believe in a God that is much higher and greater than our ability to understand. We don't ask. There's no point. It's foolish to ask. It's not on our level. So I know sometimes people say, "אתה בורח מהמציאות, to escape in reality." So what makes more sense? What is easier to accept? There is no leadership. No one leads. It's jungle echad gadol. One big jungle. One day this happened, the other day the other. Who knows? Everything is a coincidence, and it's a jungle. You don't know what to expect. This gives us peace. This makes sense. Or there is a program, there is a leader, and we do not have a full understanding. So Mendel completed his mission, but even now, as we heard, in a higher level, he is a father. He is a father to his children. We are to understand, we're not to understand. Because if a power that is in our level, means that we can understand and relate with our intellectual, did something like that to us, it would be devastating and upsetting, and there's no way out. What do you mean? You are from our circle. But Hashem is not from our level, not to our reach. It's Ein Sof, Bli Gvul, and we know that there is judgment. And we said Tuesday morning, and we believe every word that we said, Dayan HaEmet. What do we have to do now? We have to thank God for the nachat and see what we can learn, what we can adapt from it. A night before the surgery, he knew exactly. He educated himself, he understood how serious the surgery, what are the steps, and he understood why is it a full day surgery. The night before, in the house, in the Jewish organization that has a guest house, Bikur Cholim, for people who come in there in Minnesota for treatment or surgery, he had a room. And he met another family who came for a procedure. And everything was arranged. Some technical details in the arrangements wasn't the most comfortable, but everything is as planned. A man sees, he feels that he's coming from a medical treatment should be the most comfortable. So the night before the surgery, he calls a person who helped him to accomplish permission to bring the baby into the hospital. And he tells him, I see a family here, it can be a bit easier. Would you mind to use your connection to help them? He didn't share with us. I didn't know. But last week in New York, a person comes to the Shiva house and I'm sorry to say, who are you? You know our son? Never saw him. He spoke to me on the phone. I speak to so many people for those help and arrangements. I never heard someone a few hours before such a major surgery be able to say a one full organized sentence. And he was so calculated, and he called to help somebody else with whatever, a bit more comfortable, a better room, a better bed. Mendel cared for the future of Am Yisrael. Every child should come for the Sunday school. It was a project that was important for him in the highest priority. We heard from one of the parents who came to visit us yesterday. They came from Israel. We have Hebrew, so we are safe, right? We have Yahadut. But then we recognize that Hebrew is a holy language, but we don't have anything else for the children. They live in a non-Jewish environment, they're not exposed to Jewish values, so the language will be a tool, but there's nothing that they use it for. They don't. So I came to the Hebrews to an interview. And after the meeting, the interview with Mendel, I decided that if he is the one who runs the school, I'm sending my children. Because he cared. And the chinuch of the future generation was benafsho. There was 1 year that was a student who was very challenging. Like, someone had to be busy with him and his trouble most of the day. And children in his class suffer. I told Mendel when he shared with me, you never send a child out of school until other children are suffering from it. If others are losing, that's the red line, That's how I learned. And tell your parents, we are not equipped for your son. So the man who tells me, I hear, but let's see the change. Where did you learn it? About which schools? In Eretz Israel? I'm running a school that is the only day that the children are exposed to Yahadut. I will tell them to leave, he will have zero. I will hire another person only for this child. But I will not tell, I can't. שכחת אבא שעברתם לקנדה, זה לא ישראל שילך לבית ספר אחר. That was a message from Mendel together with his partners, myself, Rabbi Beni and Rabbi Shimon.
There is no future without children. So we have to build and we have to plan for the future of Am Yisrael.
עם ישראל חי, וזו לא רק אמירה. זה חזון וזו עשייה וזוהי השליחות שלנו מטעם הרבי מלובביץ'. להציע שותפות להורים, יחד נזרע, יחד נטפח על מנת שיהיה עתיד. עתיד נאה ועתיד יאה לעם ישראל.
Just like when we plant a tree, we want them to give good fruits in the future. We start young and we make sure that they know that they're different than people around them, and that there's something about them which is unique. We have a tradition, we have background, which not only is important to be aware of, but to be proud of.
We believe that every Jewish boy and girl has within them an incredible godly potential, and it's just waiting to be in the right environment and with the right people to help them reveal that potential and that spark.
Kids are in school every day of the week, and you come to help them go to school on Sundays. It's not an easy seller, but once they come once, they learn quickly that this is not a school. It's called Chai Hebrew School, but there's an interactive activity, there's a fun game, there's competitiveness and reading. And when you see parents come to pick up their child, they're like, 1 minute, I'm not finished. They don't want to go home yet.
אני אוהבת ללמד בבית הספר, כי אנחנו מלמדים בשיטה של חוויה. הילדים יוצאים מרוצים, כי אנחנו מדברים בשפה שלהם. תמיד הם עושים משהו כדי להבין את הנושא שעליו הם לומדים. אם נגיד זה ראש השנה, אז מכינים מיץ שקשור לרימונים. תמיד זה משהו שעושים כדי להבין את הנושא שעליו לומדים.
It's been an amazing experience. They've been learning how to read in Hebrew and learning all about the holidays, and we've been enjoying a lot of the family programming.
They come up being more educated about Judaism, teach us a lot too.
The way Aleph Champ works is that everyone starts on the same level, color white, and they make their way up like in karate. And when you see the children come and they get tested, and they're told that they're passed, and they're actually promoted to the higher color, and they receive their new medal and their new kippah, the glow in their eyes is just priceless.
In our bar and bat mitzvah programs, we really try to give the kids a Jewish experience. We know that, in that year of preparation, there's a lot of build-up and nervousness about the bar mitzvah event, but we try and teach them that bar mitzvah and bat mitzvah is not just an event, it's a person. It's who you are. And so we take them through a whole year learning about their Jewish roots, about their Jewish pride, about the Jewish experience. We do it in a very unique way because it's all hands-on, it's interactive. When we learn about kosher, we go to the store. When we learn about our roots, we go to the Holocaust Memorial Museum. We really believe in an immersive type of education where every child can learn on their own level. And more than just learning details or information, we're here to provide a space for them to feel and experience. C-Teens is an international program for teenagers. It's all across the world in over 400 cities. We see teens from all different public schools, and private schools connect in a meaningful way and in a really positive environment. We see children that come to our CTM programs feel better about themselves. They begin to live a life with a lot more meaning. Makes them on a whole more positive, happier teenagers. And because of that, we see that they go on to become leaders in their own communities. They're able to give to others as well.
האם הילדים שלנו ידעו מי זה משה רבינו, מה זו שבת, מה זה הכותל המערבי בירושלים, ובשביל זה עלינו החובה והזכות להנגיש להם את זה באופן חווייתי ומהנה. באופן שלא רק שהם ילמדו, אלא גם ירצו ללמוד. הם ירצו ללמוד וירצו גם ללמד את הילדים שיבואו בהמשך. ולכן, בכל פעם שאנחנו במרכז מכינים תוכניות עבור הילדים, אנחנו דואגים לשלב את זה עם אומנים מפורסמים שהם מכירים, אטרקציות שאנחנו יודעים שהילדים יאהבו, וכל זאת על מנת להנגיש להם את זה באופן חווייתי ומהנה.
Every child has a spark. Every Jewish boy and girl should be given the opportunity to express themselves in a Jewish way and in an authentic way.
Should be aware that the fact that they are Jewish, what it means to be Jewish, and to reach a level that the boy or girl will say, I am proud to be Jewish.
You might feel what is a moment of music in such an event. This was Mendel. Mendel was not concentrating on his suffering or his pain. He celebrated accomplishments of the community. One of the greatest moments of joy that this Sunday school developed, and we announced this year an additional program, after school program, that we have, that we pick up children from public school 4 times a week, some once a week, others 4 times a week, and they come here until the parents are coming from work to pick them up. They did homework, they had a club, and there are no chagim. You should know, when Mendel saw the accomplishments of this program, there's no words. הכל היה כדאי. נו, אבא, היה כדאי הדפיציט. תראה מה קורה. Mendel cared for his own children and the children of the school. He was a very involved father. He spent time with the youngest, always a time and patience, and he was creative to find how to give the children the pride to be Jewish, to feel the zchut and the pleasure to be busy with activity that is Jewish. I don't want to elaborate with stories. I would just say Mendel really felt a zchut, and he kept very important that he has a holy zchut to carry the Rebbe's name. He twice, as a few months after he was born, that he was by the Rebbe, the Rebbe saw Mendel as a baby, gave him a bracha and a dog. He understood? No. He remembered? No. But many of you, we traveled together to be by the Ohel, by the Rebbe's resting place. Whenever you think and you remember, you feel the energy, you feel like electricity in your body. I went through something. Mendel knew and believed and felt that when a tzaddik looked at you, he's projecting and keeps projecting into the neshama. So, how are we going to face the tomorrow? What are we going to take from tonight? Myself, my wife Rachel and our family will take a lot of strength from all of you who are here just to show care and support, and so many of you who we see and we feel that our pain is your pain. But not only. I would like for myself to leave tonight with a message of growth, to take on myself something new, because there is always room and a need to grow, regardless how much we do and how old we have to grow.
אני רדיו נעשית ברכה שלי במאדי שלי יסמר בחלקי ובהעסקים דעת אני משתבל בברכס בפעיל וכוי וכשסים בברית העוצמה. I'm not satisfied that only continue picking up the Wow. We'll be satisfied if you continue. No, I'm not satisfied. Not about me, but not about you also. You can live it, you must go. Was der versteht Melle, wenn Jeker Atelo mit Rizero, wenn der Lege der Rossen mit Telo mit Rizero, Echet Aggressor und Echet Atife.
We will grow if we will have the awareness of our own neshama. She needs to be fed just like our body needs to be fed. It will be definitely good for us and will be a present for Mendel. If we will increase those who don't put on tefillin every day, or the kiddush, to do it in a more perfect way and not to skip, to light Shabbat candles in the right time, not too early, not late, not only the mother, but also the daughters, to volunteer, to do chesed. And I'm obligated to mention, it's close to Pesach now, the Rebbe always every year mention the obligation that we all have to participate in Ma'ot Chitim, to donate to the needy for past Pesach. And every year you all heard, to donate what? To donate money? Yes. To donate time to pack and deliver? Yes. But we also need information. We don't know all those people who are needy. Many of them are embarrassed. We need each and every one of you. Go through in your mind names of people who told you that they lost the job, or people complain how the supermarket is so expensive and perhaps they buy less. Let us know. If you can provide them yourself, very good. Let us know. We will do it together with you. Every Jewish family should have a full festive Leila Seder table. Before Pesach, one should do Mechirat Chametz to transfer ownership from Chametz to not be in our ownership. Perhaps some people can use a reminder of the importance not only to have matzah, but to have the matzah shmura, which was the round handmade. And I would like to ask you also a bakasha. I have no doubt that I'm speaking on behalf of Mendel. If you would please add in those examples that I mentioned, and in top of it, on the way out, please take with you a charity bags if you don't have it home. Because when someone wants to give 60 cents to charity, you know what I tell him? Don't do it. Give every day 10 cents. Better than give 160 cents. Not Shabbat, but 6 days of the week. The reason to have a charity box at home is not the amount and is not nothing else but the daily act of giving. And this is something that the Rebbe always showed us. He trained children and all the important having tzedakah at home. The Rebbe even recommended a tzedakah in your charity box in your car. That's why we designed and created a charity box like a can of Coke that every car has a stand for a can. But take whatever one of the charity boxes and please at home, not on Shabbat but every day, if you please put a coin, think or maybe even better say, Leilui Nishmat Menachem Mendel Ben Israel. On Friday night before candle lighting, give an additional coin and dedicate to the benefit and brachot of your own family. שיהיו בריאים עד 120 שנה. I would like also to take on myself Lineder and to announce one of many plans and visions that Mendel had, and I must admit that this is the easiest one. I'm sorry that I'm not yet there to take his project that he prepared 80% of it. He told me one night in the hospital, I think we can already have an additional gathering for tefillah, for learning, for seniors. We have already established minyan every day. I think we can already have maybe a later 9 o'clock, people who don't rush to work, men, women will tefillat shacharit, eat breakfast together, and then we'll learning. So yeah, I think so too. It's a good idea. Next time I came for treatment, we went the whole year, every other week, myself and Rachel. 1 week. He told me I have it all planned. And he really had to the last details. The 3 names of potential teachers. He calculated what can be the budget of teachers, food, etc. The maximum you can reach from sponsorship. I'm sorry, I've given you a bit more work. Find a sponsor for the missing amounts. But I think it will be a successful program. When I come back to Toronto for Pesach, we will announce it. Hashem had a different plan. We have no question. We're not foolish to expect understanding as mentioned before. It's before Pesach. I hope to start with once a week, starting the coming Tuesday. 9 o'clock, men and women will daven, say together Tfilat Shacharit and spend some time with breakfast and learning. It will be a bit hard to do it without knowing how many people will participate. I would appreciate if you have an email that you saw the announcement on tonight's gathering, please reply. I'm a candidate. I will be there Tuesday. If it suits your schedule, please do. Let me share with you a story. Thursday, sitting Shiva in Muncie, New York. A lady comes in, definitely not from our side, we didn't recognize her. Then we see it's not from our daughter-in-law's side, she also doesn't recognize her. No one knows who she is. And she also doesn't know. She's also going to ask her, who's who? Who lost her husband? I'm just coming from the airport now. I'm living in Florida. And I came to visit. 4 months ago, she lost her husband and she's home with 4 little children. I heard that someone here lost her husband and has 4 little children. I know what you're going through. So I bought a ticket. She spent a little bit time with the family, most of the time with the children, opening the toys and building them, and went back to the airport. Where could you find something like that if not in Am Yisrael? Mi ke'amcha Yisrael. We have to remember to keep the zchut, how precious our neshama, our yahadut within us, and the yahadut within us is equally, there is no difference. There is no such a concept. I don't know how many years, when I was a child, there was no concept of chiloni. They used to call it chofshi. Then there's a new word in the dictionary, chiloni. It's a one big mistake, and there is no such a concept. When people tell me, Kvod Harav, ani lo dati, you know what I tell them? Ani gam lo. Maze, where does it say dati? There's 3 categories of Jews. Dati or Chiloni is not one of them. What are the 3 categories? Yehudi, Yehudi. And we are all Jews. We have to recognize the neshama is what makes us to be Jewish. And because of that, we are brothers and sisters. So we have to be sensitive, respectful one to another, and care for another Jew, for his physical well-being and for his spiritual well-being. I know him. This lady from Florida felt, I have a sister here that I never met. Who is my sister who lost? That's how we have to feel, and we have to learn. I always tell people like to say, כל מלמדי השכלתי, החיים זה בית ספר. Life is like a school. What is the next line? החיים זה בית ספר, אבל צריך להסכים להיכנס לכיתה. You have to be willing to go into classroom and receive the message. Let's be good students, to learn from Mendel, to learn from every Jew who has something to teach us, something for us to improve. My wife, Rachel, Theodore, Chana, Yaakov, Gita, Shenabroch, and Yosef Yitzchak. It's hard. Look around, look how many family members we have. Feel the care, feel the friendship, and get the strength. We will continue to do even more, to benefit the community, and to make sure there is a Dora Hemshech. There will be a Jewish continuity, another child and another child. Every child is our Olam Aleh. Every boy that his bar mitzvah was a meaningful experience is generations. I cannot forget, I really don't like to repeat this story, but I cannot forget years ago, about probably more than 20 years ago, when we had a bar mitzvah in previous location. And the bar mitzvah boy was the oldest. His youngest sister and brother went up together beside him when he to the Aron Kodesh, because that's where the Abba went. He's holding the Sefer Torah, and the photographer is taking pictures, and wow! And all of a sudden we hear a voice from a child. Abba, מה הוא מחזיק ביד? And the sister replied, ומה זה הקופסה השחורה על הראש? This is something I cannot forget and cannot impossible. This should be not by us, but anybody that we know. And children will not know, not Sefer Torah and not Tefillin, if they're not getting education. If they're not being exposed with a positive and a good environment. Not only school is not enough, but home and school together. Let's all get the message. We are all young in relation to the age of Am Yisrael and the goals of Am Yisrael. Let's work, let's be alert and sensitive to continue the Rebbe's work, and yes, to learn from our son, our dear son, and תהיה נשמתו צרורה בצרור החיים. We should all be well עד 120 and together in good occasions. To each and every one of you, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing your friendship.